Hi guys, hope you're well. This is a video that I promised to do for ages. Some of my students, which is the difference between ce dont and celui, dont, celle, dont, and the like. If you find it useful, please subscribe. Please click like on the video. Please remember I have a Kofi account underneath if you want to donate. It'd be very, very much appreciated. Please click the bell so that you get the notifications, and please enjoy. Okay, so if you don't get anything that's going on in this video, it's just pitched too hard for you. Please remember, the thing with my videos is I do have grassroots, beginners, and I do have advanced. And it doesn't mean French isn't for you. It just means you need to start at a different point, and you'll more than likely soon overtake a lot of the people. Some of the strongest people I'm teaching right now, when I got hold of them, were really dire, and they're now, you know, doing really well. And they're not all going at the same speed. So there's people that have done it a lot faster than others, but they started at a different place. They started quite bad, you know, so at quite a bad sort of place. So it's like, yeah, choose your own speed, work as hard as you want. Yeah, it doesn't mean, you know, so don't be afraid of going, no, I need to go back and learn this, and then like a rocket. Right, so what are we talking about? We're talking about things that in your mouth basically feel the same. Things that in your mouth basically feel the same. Ce dont versus celui dont versus celle dont. And even though they seem rather similar, they're absolutely not the same thing. Let's just cross the road and hopefully not die. It's a really nice sunset. So, you are going to need, for this video, your grabbing hand. Your grabbing hand. You are going to be grabbing shit. You are going to be taking hold of an idea with your grabby little hand, okay? If you think about life, when we use ce qui and ce que, or ce dont, so C-E, new word Q-U-I, C-E, new word Q-U-E, C-E, new word D-O-N-T, or even for that matter, C-E, wow, that sunset's beautiful, C-E, I don't know if it'll come out on camera, but C-E, new word, A, new word quoi, so à quoi. These words put together generally in English double up as what when it's not a question. So for example, I know what you like. Je sais ce que tu aimes. I know what you need. Je sais ce dont tu aimes. I know what, you know, you're thinking of. Je sais ce à quoi. Although you will often in slang French say à quoi. So these are what when it's not a question. And ce qui is when you have what when it's not a question, when you go straight into a verb. I know what's happening. There's no what Luke is happening. So je sais ce qui se passe. So I will, underneath this video in the description box, and if by some dumb thing I haven't done this, please remind me, I will attach a video underneath. I'm going to turn the camera. Can I? It's too, I can't turn it around while filming. Let's just get that for a little bit. That is just beautiful. That is just beautiful. Yeah, I will attach a video underneath basically going over which of those you use. So to quickly remind you again, it's largely when in English you'd say the word what and it's not a question. Could be referring to a question but not actually a question, and that will be ce que if you're going into a verb that will ordinarily not have an a or a de. Ce qui if you're going straight into a verb. Ce dont if you're going into a verb that would ordinarily use a de. And ce à quoi if you're going into a verb that would ordinarily use an a. So let's do some examples. So Robbie eats, Robbie mange, Robbie eats the cake, Robbie mange le gâteau. I know what, so in Robbie mange le gâteau, Robbie eats the cake, there's no a or de, just Robbie mange le gâteau, no problem. So I know what Robbie's eating, je sais ce que Robbie mange. I know what Robbie's eating, je sais ce que Robbie mange. Maggie's thinking of the situation. Maggie pense à la situation. Maggie pense à la situation. I know what Maggie's thinking of. What is not a question here. Je sais ce à quoi Maggie pense. Je sais ce à quoi Maggie pense. Again, that can be à quoi Maggie pense in other situations. I know what Maggie needs, so je sais ce dont Maggie a besoin, because if you said Maggie needs something, Maggie a besoin de quelque chose. So in other words, therefore, when we need what, when it's not a question, we will use ce dont. I know what is happening. You know, je sais ce qui se passe, C-E-Q-U-I, new word, because there's no person. There's no person. You could start a sentence with any of those four as well. What is happening is interesting. Ce qui se passe est intéressant. What you need is ce dont tu as besoin, et what happened, no, so what Robbie's eating, ce que Robbie mange, et what Robbie's thinking of is out of the question. Ce à quoi, and illegal in several states. Ce à quoi Robbie pense, yada yada, all the questions. So, what when it's not a question? But notice, grubby-handed people, that this what is taking the place of a noun or a verbal idea referring to a noun. So for example, Robbie eats the cake. We can hear the big fat fuck off word cake. Robbie eats the cake. Robbie mange le gâteau. Robbie mange le gâteau. Robbie mange le gâteau. You know how to handle pronouns if you're watching this level video. Robbie eats it. Robbie le mange. So we've already got a method in French of when we get rid of the cake and we replace it. Robbie le mange. So you might go, well, how are we replacing cake with sucre? It's like saying, I know that thing that Robbie's eating. You won't hear gâteau and sucre together. You'll hear gâteau and que. So the cake Robbie's eating, le gâteau que Robbie mange, because you're still hearing the word cake. I know what Robbie's eating. Everybody else would know you were referring to the cake. Je sais ce que Robbie mange. Maggie thinks of the situation. Maggie pense à la situation. Maggie's thinking about it. Maggie y pense. There's a pronoun. I know what Maggie's thinking of. Je sais ce à quoi Maggie pense. Yeah, je sais à quoi Maggie pense in a different context. So again, on this one, once again, we are referring to what would have been the noun. So Maggie's thinking the situation. Maggie pense à la situation. The situation Maggie's thinking of. La situation à laquelle Maggie pense. Maggie's thinking about it. Maggie y pense. What? This thing, that, grabbing. What Maggie's thinking of. Ce à quoi Maggie pense. John needs the train. John a besoin du... No, let's do a feminine, so... Yeah, go with train then. So John a besoin du train. John a besoin du train, de le train. The train John needs. Le train dont John a besoin. John needs it. John en a besoin. I know what John needs. You won't hear the word train there. You're referring to it. You're grabbing it. This idea. Je sais ce dont John a besoin. So in other words, this grab, ce qui, ce que, ce dont, ce à quoi, this grab is taking the place of the idea that the verb is going to touch. Celui, celle, ceux, and celle, C-E-L-U-I, C-E-L-L-E, C-E-L-U-I, no, C-E-U-X and C-E-L-L-E-S, are taking the place specifically of the noun in the same way, but just the noun and not the whole idea. This is where it gets a little bit clever. So for example, look at that. So if you said, I know what Nina's eating, je sais ce que Nina mange. I know what Nina's eating, but there's not in that sentence any clue as to what Nina is eating. You might then say, I know what Nina's eating. She's eating whatever, a cake, a salad, whatever. If you've seen Nina on the Friday videos, it's far more likely to be a fucking salad. Girl looks good. So, je sais ce que Nina mange. Okay? If you said celle, new word que, Nina mange, or celui, new word que Nina mange, you are basically saying the one Nina eats, the one feminine Nina eats, those that Nina eat, those feminine that Nina eats. So celui, que, celle, que, ceux, C-U-X, que, celle, C-E-L-L-E-S, que. So when would you use that instead? You'd use that instead if everybody involved knew what that referred to. So for example, if you said, don't touch that bread, that's the one Luke eats, that's the gluten-free one, yeah? Let's leave some for Luke. So, ouais, ne mange pas, ne touche pas ce pain, c'est celui que Luc mange. So, the one that Luke eats. Ce que Luc mange, C-E, it's what Luke eats. So it's what Luke eats, c'est ce que Luc mange. That's fine, that's completely doable as well. But it's just general grab, it's what Luke eats. Celui que Luc mange would be the one that Luke eats, and we'd have to be thinking of the bread. We'd have to be thinking specifically of the bread in order to be able to pull it off. So notice as well that we can use these expressions with much more detail than ce qui, ce que, ce dont, ce à quoi. So for example, if you said you can use celui, celle, ceux and celle with people. So which girl, quelle fille, which one, laquelle, the one who lives in France, celle qui habite en France. Celle can refer to a person. So in other words, what you need will only ever be a concept, what you need. It can't be a person. Celle dont can be a person, C-E-L-L-E, dont. So I know the one you're talking about. Moi je connais celle dont tu parles. Could be a person, all right? So when you are referring in overview to the whole concept of what the verb is doing, grab and use CE, ce qui, ce que, ce dont, ce à quoi, according to whether you are verb that doesn't use anything weird, verb that uses an a, verb that uses a de, or verb that's going straight into verb. Okay? When you want to use celui, celle, ce, or celle, you're effectively taking the place specifically of the known person or non-person that the verb is touching specifically. So let's bear that in mind. You're going to be using celui, celle, ceux and celle if it's going to be mentioning a specific thing we all know about, and we're going to be using the CE methods if we're just referring in overview. Okay? So, I love what Lizzie's wearing in overview. No fucking mention of what she's specifically wearing. You might go on to say, I love what Lizzie's wearing. That's such a cool pair of trousers. That's such a cool dress on her. You know, she looks great. But in overview, I know what Lizzie's, I love what Lizzie's wearing. J'adore ce que Lizzie porte. J'adore ce que Lizzie porte. J'adore ce qu'elle a mis. Ce que elle a mis. Ce que elle a mis. J'adore ce qu'elle a mis. J'adore ce que Lizzie porte. That's a lovely dress. Yes, but I love the one Lizzie's wearing. The one that's meaning the dress. Yes, that is nice, but Lizzie's, oh, that's badass. That's brilliant. So, j'adore celle que Lizzie porte, because we're talking about, I always like the colour of this house. We're talking about, it's quite late for Wisteria, late in the year, not late at night. Where are you, Wisteria? Why aren't you in bed already? Actually, damn, that's quite a late one as well. Yeah. So in other words, I like what Lizzie's wearing. General. J'aime ce que Lizzie porte. We've gone with ce que. Why? Because Lizzie's wearing. Lizzie porte quelque chose. There's no a, there's no de, and it's not going straight into a verb. We've got Lizzie wearing, so ce que. All right? Don't even attempt this video if you haven't watched the shit underneath and understood it. If you don't understand when to use ce qui, ce que, ce dont, ce à quoi. Don't even bother, all right? Come back. Absolutely watch it and then come back. You'll be very welcome. I know, so which boy? The one he lives with. The one he lives with. The one on this occasion is referring specifically, look at this, an hibiscus is a tree. Very cool, I always love them as a tree. I kind of prefer them as trees to bushes actually. But they always look like ripped up bits of tissue that you have to throw in the bin. So I know, the one he lives with, pointing specifically to something everybody knows what we're on about. Yeah? The one he lives with, we all know in this context. Because if I just walked into your house and said, oh, the one he lives with is really weird. Who? Oh yeah, the boy he lives with, yeah. So the one he lives with. Celui avec qui. So in other words, celui, celle, ceux, and celle on this occasion are kind of taking the place of a noun, just the noun word. The boy he lives with, le garçon avec qui il habite. The girl he lives with, la fille avec qui il habite. Celui avec qui il habite. Celle avec qui il habite. Okay? I know what she needs. General. Okay? Let's do it with faux. I know what he needs. She needs. Je sais ce que, general, what, il lui faut. Now don't get confused with il lui faut. The her is represented in the lui but there. Je sais ce qu'il lui faut. Oui, je sais très bien. Je sais ce qu'il lui faut. I know what she needs. Okay? Je sais ce qu'il lui faut. Je sais ce qu'il lui faut. I know the one she needs. Oh, she needs a backpack. She needs like a rucksack, un sac à dos. Oh, well, I know the one she needs. It's available in da-da-da-da. Alors moi, je sais très bien celui qu'il lui faut. The one that she needs. Celui qu'il lui faut. I know what she needs. General idea with besoin. Je sais ce dont. Remember, if it's a general idea, I know what she needs. We could then go on to say she needs some freaking hiking boots, or she needs, what else would she need her for a walking holiday? Some sun cream, some form of snack. Yeah, I know what she needs. She needs a snack. Alors, je sais ce dont elle a besoin. We're using ce dont because the verb need there would use a de. So, je sais ce dont elle a besoin. Let's assume we were talking about biscuits or cookies, which are masculine, unless you use galette, which is feminine, but let's go with biscuit. I know the one she needs. Let's say we're talking about a backpack first, un sac à dos. So, je sais celui dont elle a besoin. So, le sac à dos dont elle a besoin, celui dont elle a besoin, because we know what we're on about. I know those she needs, meaning the cookies, the biscuits. Je sais ce dont elle a besoin. Yeah. Or I'm familiar with elle. I know that brand. Alors moi, je connais ce dont elle a besoin. Different specific idea for the general, as opposed to when we know what noun we're on about. So that's the overall difference. It's going to be like any relative pronoun you have done with me. Avec qui, avec lequel, avec laquelle, avec lesquels, que, dont, any of the normal relative pronouns we've done. But the word that we place before it, in other videos I've called this the blue word as opposed to the red word, is just going to be swapped for celui, celle, ceux, C-U-X, and celle, C-E-L-L-E-S. As opposed to what as a generalized concept, not mentioning the thing specifically, would be the, ce qui, ce que, ce dont, ce à quoi. This is a theme that when people are ready for it, they're ready for it. It's like children with the birds and the bees conversation. If they don't ask certain questions, don't introduce the idea. It will blow their mind and probably damage them. Nice white agapanthus. Good. Good. If you're not ready for this concept, mommy and daddy love you very much, but they don't think it's time. Or mommy and daddy and daddy. Or themmy and themmy. Mommy, themmy. If you're not ready for this, don't worry about it. Okay? If you're ready for this, get the fuck on top of it, because it's a really big difference. Brilliant. Loads of love. If you enjoyed the video, great. If you have any questions, let me know underneath. If you want to contribute some coffee, link underneath. If you're not already subscribed, do please subscribe. Do please click the notification bell, and lots of love.